I mean, did anyone expect anything different? Because I didn't. I definitely didn't. Yes, people, you know the face, you know the name. Aaron here, back again with another video. Shout out to everyone tuning in, showing love and support every single time. Back with another reaction. Final score at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Inter Miami 0, PSG 4. And that was an absolute slapping. It could have been more, but I think at halftime, because of the respect that Luis Enrique has for some of the players that he used to coach, Jordi Alba, Busquets, Suarez, Messi, he probably told the guys, listen, take your foot off the gas, let's chill, let's relax, let's knock the ball around, keep possession. If we have a chance, we'll take it, but please don't force it. I think that's what was said at halftime. And this is probably where you have to look at Messi's situation at Inter Miami and say, he's playing with scrubs, man. Let's be honest. He's playing with a finished Jordi Alba, a finished Sergio Busquets, a finished Luisito Suarez, and yeah, it's not the easiest job. The rest of the team, nobody probably knew about them before the tournament even started. So let's not act like we know some of these players, and let's not act like we watch the MLS, because we don't. I don't. And I'm not going to sit here and lie. So yeah, Messi is playing with scrubs, man, you know. And I will double down on my opinion that I had when they won against, what was it, Porto? No, they actually drew. When he scored that free kick, it was against Porto, yes. When he scored that free kick, I said Messi can still play in Europe. And I double down on that opinion. He can still play in Europe because guess what? Everything that Inter Miami was able to create today went through Messi. When he received the ball and he was driving forward, you know, drawing people towards him and freeing other people on the left and on the right, he could still do that in Europe. Now, if he has better players around him, of course, he can still, you know, keep up with the best of the best in Europe. He's still got the legs. The legs ain't gone. People are going to do this whole gimmick of he walks around. But guess what? Every time he touches the ball, every time he gets the ball, something happens. Guaranteed. 8 times out of 10. It might not be a 9 anymore or a 10 like it used to, but 8 times out of 10, he can still make things happen. There's still that kind of, you know, apprehension as a defender when Messi's running towards you. You're not just going to dive in just because you think he ain't got no legs anymore. No, you're still very wary of, oh, Messi can still do something here, so I better be careful. There's still that fear, and there's still that X factor that Messi has, you know. I believe, listen, to give you an example, if Messi was on that PSG team, the game finishes 10-0 today. That's how good Messi is. So, and I don't think I need to be telling you guys this, but anyway, that's just for anyone that's hopping in the comments and telling me I was delusional or I'm wrong for saying that Messi could still play in Europe, because I firmly believe he can still do that. In fact, I would highly recommend Messi to come back to Europe and play for a team to get himself in real shape for the World Cup 2026, because if he stays in the MLS and plays for Inter Miami, I don't think he's going to be in the best of shapes. Now, when he plays for Argentina, it's completely different. He's got dogs around him, like dogs that are willing to die for him. He doesn't have that at Inter Miami. He doesn't. He really doesn't. So that's my opinion on Messi, but Inter Miami today, that was just a collective disaster class. Defensively, that was awful. You know, and this is where possibly you have to look at the coach, Javier Mascherano. Okay, he's in the infancy of his coaching journey, you can say that, but still, when I look at the first goal, for example, that's just schoolboy errors, man. How on earth they let João Neves all the way at the back post be behind the defense, behind the line that they put when the free kick was taken? They let him be behind the line, so that means if they look back, they can see him. They let him make the run in behind the defense, back post, easiest header he's ever going to score. And then they have the cheek to put their hand up as if it was offside. That's just terrible defending. Like, yeah. And, you know, all the goals were just schoolboy errors, man. It was just horrible defending. But that's probably where you have to praise PSG as well. And I'm probably just going to judge the first half because the second half, like I said, there was nothing that really happened that was worth talking about, you know. The thing about PSG is no matter how you set up, PSG have so many ways they can hurt you. They can hurt you on a counter. They can hurt you building up. They can hurt you via the wings, or they can hurt you by combining with each other through the middle, finding a little gap, and then someone makes a third man run, ball over the top, and then square it across, and then there's a tap in. And that's how Jean Neves' second goal happened, and that's how Hakimi's goal happened. Ball over the top, Barcola squares it to Hakimi, Hakimi crossbar, back to Hakimi again, goal. They can hurt you in so many ways, which is why it's so difficult to defend against this PSG team. And that's what makes them so good. I'm not trying to disrespect the older PSG generation, because the older PSG generation, 94 or 95, if I'm not wrong, please correct me if I am wrong, the likes of Ginola and all of these guys and Lama, do you know what I mean? They had a fantastic generation, George Weah. But boy, oh boy, this PSG team right now eclipses the likes of Zlatan, Cavani, Di Maria, Messi, Neymar, Mbappe. This PSG team is by far the best in their history. Because what they're doing to teams, the way they're dismantling teams at will is absolutely crazy. It's absolutely ridiculous. Couple of players that I want to talk about, that I want to highlight. Fabian Ruiz. Fabian Ruiz, for me, is up there with the best midfielders in the world, man. This midfield trio again. Fabian Ruiz, Vitinha, and João Neves. These three are incredible to watch. Honestly, man. Vitinha getting the assist for the free kick. Fabian Ruiz involved in the second goal. Squares it over to João Neves. João Neves gets the first goal. Back post, header. Like, all three are so busy. Whenever there's a third man run to be done, you'll see Fabian Ruiz do it. You'll see Vitinha do it. You'll see João Neves do it. Like, these guys are everywhere. And technically, that is some of the highest football IQ that I've seen in recent years. Technically, this is football of the highest order. And it's absolutely incredible to see. And I love these type of midfielders, which is why when people talk to me about these midfielders in the Premier League that do nothing else but run and have stamina, I don't rate these midfielders, because I'm looking at the likes of Vitinha, João Neves and Fabian Ruiz, and I'm going, that is a standard. That is the standard that you should strive to get towards as a midfielder. Technically so secure. So secure. Even if they don't have the lungs, even if they don't run for two men and stuff like that. Because yes, some midfielders do that. But guess what? When the physical attributes are stripped away from a player, what else do you have? Strip the physical attributes away from these three, guess what you still have? You have IQ, you have good passing, and you have intelligence. And fine technique. Not just technique, but fine technique. And this is why I rate these three so highly, man. Kvaratskhelia. You know what I like the most about Kvaratskhelia? When he dribbles, he doesn't do too much. He just focuses on getting past you. But it's so clean and so neat. He's very similar to Elise. Elise doesn't really care about step overs and none of that stuff. But when he does do it, it's very clean and it's very effective. It's 2 step overs maximum, boom, and he's gone. If he has to chop back, he chops it back. But he doesn't do too much because he knows when I chop back once, if I do it twice, it's too much. Let me just release it or let me cross it in. Like, it's very effective. Kvaratskhelia is very good at that. Very, very good. Very good. Last but not least, I wanted to talk about Désiré Doué. Now, I'm a fan of Désiré Doué. And I get that he's young and I get that everyone is talking about the age thing and stuff. However, I do think that he's going to have to slowly start to cut out parts of his game. And what do I mean by that? I mean that, you know, in the first half where he stood still and then he was doing step overs, you know, standing still, and then he lost the ball and Inter Miami went on a counter. You do that in the Champions League, because he's a regular starter now. You do that in the Champions League, you'll get punished straight away. So I think he needs to cut this out from his game. Personally, that's just me. I think he'll be a much better player if he cuts out the unnecessary step overs. I'm not saying he can't do that. I'm not saying it's wrong to do that. But what I am saying is you're better off cutting off the unnecessary step overs and tricks and flicks in moments you don't actually need it, and just focus on being effective. Because then you'll be like the likes of Elise, like the likes of Kvaratskhelia, and be effective when you need to. Way too often right now, I see Désiré Doué showboating when he needs to be effective. And sometimes it can be to the detriment of the team. Like I said, losing the ball and the team goes on a counter. So if he cuts these things out from his game, I think he can be a much better and effective player. And he can be much better than he is now. And he's already really good. So, yeah, that's probably it, man. You know, PSG just completely cruised by Inter Miami. They cruised past Inter Miami. So that was expected. So, yeah, we could have a PSG Bayern Munich matchup in the next round, in the quarterfinals, if Bayern Munich go past, if Bayern Munich manage to beat Flamengo. So that's the next game that I'm going to watch. So, yeah, if you made it till the end of this video, head over to the comment section and type in, I want to see, hold on a minute. What can you guys put in the comment section? I'm trying to think of an emoji maybe. I want to see 3 fire emojis in the chat. If you made it till the end of this video, head over to the comment section and type in 3 fire emojis. That's how I know you made it till the end of this video. Anyway, people, like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'm out. Peace.